It's December 17th, 2014. And I just remembered something else. I'm pretty sure it was Brian Gross that that the Bechtolds were trying to say was Alvaro Pardo. After Alvaro Pardo attacked me, then there was a white man but with brown hair who then did something to me, and they were trying to say that he was Alvaro Pardo, but he wasn't. But they were also referring to him as Brian. And he looks like Brian Gross. I think that it's possible Louis Free was somehow maybe involved in one of the attacks against me, but I'm not positive. But I am positive that they were that one of the men who did attack me while I was lying down and in a bed was Brian. And then outside of that situation, Brian Gross was also outside going back and forth between this one side room and outside it on another occasion for something else. So he was there, like, at least fully clothed, and in contact with the Bechtolds in that kind of a situation. But I also believe that he was possibly a participant in sexual assault of me when I was in bed at the Bechtolds' house in a flannel nightgown, basically, or pajamas. But the Bechtolds were definitely on a first-name basis with this Brian. They talked about him a lot. And there was a friend of Nathan Bechtolds named Brian, too, who was just an older kid. I think he was blonde. They had him around because some of Nathan's friends came over and were participating in some of this, and they were older teens. But mostly when I was strapped to the chair type of a thing. But but there was definitely a Brian that was an adult man that the Bechtolds knew. Also, about the I mentioned something about the socks, how they use that as a trigger for me to do blowjobs. They had two different forms of doing that kind of a thing. They were using socks as in regular, like men's athletic socks, and they would have like them on the ground, and then that would be an indication to me that I had to do something for them. But they were also using condoms. So, for example, if someone was trying to put a condom on, and then the condom fell to the ground, I was supposed to help them with that. That was a cue to me that I had to do this thing for them, or else I was going to be tortured or maybe killed. And later I occasionally heard it referred to as a glove, but more often, more frequently with some of their programming and torture of me, they were calling it a sock. So, and as I say, that is actually something that later George and Janet Bechtolds' son, Robin, specifically used to force me to do a blowjob for him in high school, which when I hadn't done anything for any of these kids or anyone my age or anything like that. And after all of those government people had done all these things to me for so many years, they then wanted Robin to try this out on me and to scare me enough and to having to doing that. And so this is next. Basically, I've spent a lot of time trying to confirm and clarify a few things about some of the things that happen at Bechtel's, but next I'll describe how Robin raped me the 2 different times and how Erica Ballinger was involved. And I also have a list of names and some people who were involved in the gang rape of me at Ballinger's house, at Lonnie Ballinger's house. And I can go over that a little bit later too, but it might be tomorrow or the next day that I, if not today, that I talk about what Robin did in raping me.